listeners, I'm your DJ Jihi, and this is Culture Crunch. AI recommendations can be surprisingly accurate these days, right? It suggests songs and movies that make you think, that's exactly my taste. But somehow, the things I stumble upon by chance or discover on my own tend to last longer. AI may give us the recommendations, but we create the memorable scenes in our own minds. Today on Monday's All About, we're joined by a neuroscientist, Professor Inah Lee, to find out the secret to creating unforgettable moments in our brains. Here's our first song, 왜 자꾸 생각날까 Stuck in My Head by Han featuring Chan and Connie.
주말은 어때? Just tell me anytime. 아무래도 이 날씨면 It's better out. 저번에 말한 커피랑 빵 잠깐 자리면 더 fine. 창문 틈 드는 바람에 식히는 뺨 이대로 시간이 멈췄음 하는데 어쩌면 내일도 네가 필요한데 평소보다 가까이 번쩍한 대화가 생각이 나 뒤척이다가 밤새도록 나 잠도 못 잤네 왜 자꾸 생각날까 나 이런 적이 없는데 밤바다 보러 갈까 할 얘긴 딱히 없는데 이게 다 사랑만이 뭘까 넌 어떻게 생각해 소리에 묻혀버린 고백이지만 네 웃음은 뭘까
새어나오는데 아무리 막아도 자꾸만 나 꽃노래가 벌써 다 들켰나 넌 멋질 때 울었더니 선물인가 시원한 날씨마저 날 도는 게 어떤 영화나 음악보다 한참 담던 겨우대 놀라 걷다 보니 맞춰진 발 맞잡아 놓은 게 내 손을 타고 날아 어디론가 날 데려다주고 방 같아 어디라도 좀 봐 너라면 안 갈게 왜 자꾸 생각날까
나 이런 적이 없는데
밤바다 보러 갈까
할 얘긴 딱히 없는데 이게 다 사랑만이 뭘까 넌 어떻게 생각해 소리에 묻혀버린 고백이지만 이 웃음은 뭘까
It's time for All About, where we explore all kinds of knowledge from around the world. And today we're talking about building and protecting a brain that sets us apart from AI. And joining us is Professor Inah Lee from the Department of Brain and Cognitive Sciences at Seoul National University. Welcome, Professor. Hello again.
Hi, Crunchers. Nice to be back, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming in once again.
Yeah.
Good to see you again.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Well, Professor, last week we talked about how AI can affect our brain and memory, right? How it changes it. So for listeners who may have missed out on that episode, what were the key points?
Sure. AI can give us information, but our brain still has to turn that information into our own knowledge. And receiving an answer is not the same as understanding it,
Right.
and even as using it. For information to become meaningful to you, we have to connect it with what we already know, with our own experience, and with the context in which we'll use it.
Right.
So that's the work our brain still has to do. So that was our, previous, summary.
That is right.
Yeah.
Right. What we can do is adding personal meaning
Exactly.
to knowledge or information that may be given from AI. But today, you did give us a little preview last
Yeah.
week. But can you tell us in more detail what we'll be talking about today?
Today, I'd like to talk about how we can build a brain that remains distinct from AI. And instead of asking how can humans compete with AI, I think a better question is what are human brains especially good at? And our brains are very good at learning through real-world experience, and through our bodies, our senses, and our emotions, and our interactions with other people. So today we'll talk about how to protect and strengthen those human abilities. Yeah.
Okay, very important
Yeah.
as we are living in the age of AI. How to build or building and protecting a brain that sets us apart from AI would be the topic of our talk today. Well, when it comes to simply, I guess, searching for information or retrieving knowledge, humans can't really beat AI now,
No.
because their capacity is just huge, all the big
Yeah.
data.
Yeah.
But from a neuroscientist's perspective, what is the one true strength of the human brain that even the most, I guess, advanced AI can never fully replace?
With the current technology, what AI cannot really even mimic is what neuroscientists call episodic memory.
Oh.
Episodic memory is the memory of events that I personally experienced.
Yep.
So because it's so personal, sometimes it's called autobiographical memory. And for example, I remember where I was in a certain episode and who I was with, what happened there, and even how I felt, my emotion at that moment. And AI can store enormous amounts of information, but human memory is not simply a database. Our memories are connected to our own bodies, emotions, and relationships, and personal histories. So that first-person experience gives our memories personal meaning. So, and I think that is one of the most important strengths of the human brain.
Oh, okay. Episodic memory,
Yeah.
which isn't just a collection of data, but it's all about like the senses connected to the
Exactly.
body as well. Okay. Well, there are certain memories like your first family trip as a child,
Yeah.
for example,
Yeah.
that can still feel very vivid as if it was just yesterday or a few years ago, even decades later. So why do some experiences remain so crystal clear in our brains, almost like photographed like this?
Usually, memorable experiences contain many different kinds of information at the same time. And that's a good example. Your first family trip.
Yes.
You may remember the place, the weather, and the smell of the food, the people who were with you, and what someone said in that trip, and how excited you felt, your emotions. And the brain can bind these different elements together into one event, one coherent event. And the hippocampus plays an important role for that. So, and when an experience is emotionally meaningful or distinctive, it often becomes even more memorable. So a vivid memory is not simply a photograph stored in the brain. It is a rich network of connected information.
Okay. And I guess that's also all about context as well,
Exactly.
right?
That's a contextual memory.
Yeah, contextual memory. Okay. But then on the other hand, why does information we simply search on our AI or smartphones, they tend to disappear more quickly than these memories, like the memories that we talked about earlier?
The simple answer is they are not contextual
Yeah.
to you, in a sense.
True.
You don't make effort to make it contextual. So, very little is required in that occasion from our brain. Because if I type a question, immediately you get answer, and you look at it for 5 seconds and then move on and give another answer. I haven't done very much in that case with that information with my own brain. So you have to sort of struggle with it, connect it with your previous knowledge, or use it at least in a meaningful way. That way, your memory tends to become more stronger when you do that kind of active processing. So active processing of that information is very important. So the problem is not that digital information is inherently kind of forgettable.
Yeah.
It is just because you don't process it. Yeah.
Okay. And during that process of processing,
Yeah.
that's when it becomes like it stays in your brain better.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
okay.
that memory of you processed it is a very important component.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, then what happens differently in the brain when we simply read words on a screen, whether it be knowledge, information, versus when we physically move our body and experience a space with our senses ourselves?
That's when you physically move around in the world, many systems in the brain become involved at the same time. And you're seeing things, hearing sounds, and moving your body and paying attention to landmarks and sensing your position in space. These are all happening at once. So it's an enormous task, actually.
Okay.
And the hippocampus is particularly important for representing places and spatial relationships while you're moving through space.
Okay.
So real world experience gives the brain many different signals that can later become part of integrated memory. So reading about a place, I mean, in words can certainly create a memory too, but actually being there provides a much richer information of sensory, spatial, and bodily information. And you have to somehow connect them, make relationships, make a context, and that process makes the memory more memorable.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So basically, you saying that a lot more of the brain parts get involved means they become like activated, right?
Yeah, and then connected.
Connected.
Yeah. So even if you read something like when you read a very interesting novel, if you read it and then try to come up with a scene that you just read in your brain, then the hippocampus kicks in, and then that scene will stick in your brain. So it's the matter of processing it in a contextual way. And words can be turned into that kind of memory too if you do that.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to memorize something for a test, like an exam,
Exactly.
try to get your hippocampus involved
Yeah.
by like thinking about your own
Yeah.
experience, contextually.
Connect some story to it, then it's
okay.
going to be memorable. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great tip for
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
students out there. All right. Well, it's after listening to you, it seems like I have to also do something simple for my brain as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Okay. Well, then, what are some simple things we can actually do in everyday life for the brain? Yeah.
It doesn't have to be so complicated. Sometimes, just walk somewhere without immediately turning on your GPS navigation device. Just roam around and take a different route home sometimes and visit a new neighborhood. When you enter a place, notice where things are and what you can hear, what the air smells like, and those things, how you feel. And after an interesting experience like that, try to recall it later without looking at your phone or
Okay.
photo, cloud album.
Yeah.
These small exercises or habits, if you do it every day, encourage the brain to observe better, navigate better, and remember better for itself, actually.
Okay.
So it's just, take time and
Yeah.
try to retrieve it.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. And consciously doing these simple things in your everyday life.
Oh, yeah.
helps.
Usually it happened naturally because
Oh.
you have people around you ask you, what did you do yesterday? And
Yeah.
then you just, it comes out. But these days, a lot of people just, live by themselves and then no one asks question,
Sadly, yeah.
except for my puppy. And so that's why I think people get closer to AI. But I think, these things need to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
These simple things, but
Yeah.
they tend to have been lost
Exactly.
in
Exactly.
today's everyday lives. But anyhow, I also did hear that, simply spacing out, zoning out, we say too.
yeah.
멍 때리다 in
Yeah,
Korean,
멍,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Letting your mind wander. It could be good for your mental health. Is that true?
Yeah, it can be. The brain is not really doing nothing, when we appear to be resting, when external demands decrease, the brain can spontaneously revisit memories internally, imagine future situations, and connect different ideas. So it's busy inside.
Okay.
So you look like zoned out, but it's very busy inside. So having some periods without constant external stimulation may be useful. And I wouldn't say that simply staring into space automatically makes your brain healthier, but constantly filling every empty moment with smartphone may leave less opportunity for reflection and spontaneous thought like that.
Okay.
And that's the source of actually creativity. And some things are connected. And they're not usually connected in a usual situation, but during that long time, it's connected. So
see.
artists use that technique a lot, just zoning out. Yeah, and then I think those quiet moments have value.
Okay, yeah. And that's why, like you mentioned, artists, you know, they have those eureka moments when they're just taking a shower, not thinking about many things or whatnot.
Or when you're in a nature, like, overwhelmed by this natural kind of scene, you just come up with something sometimes,
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So do space out from time to time. It's good for you. All right, well, can listening to music also help stimulate the brain?
Oh yeah, I believe it. Music is actually a wonderful example of how rich human cognition can be. When we listen to music, the brain is not only processing sound, music can activate memory, emotion, prediction, attention, and even movement-related systems, like
Really?
dancing, K-pop.
Right.
A familiar song can suddenly bring back a very specific place or period of your time or your life. That's why music can be such a powerful cue for autobiographical memory or episodic memory. It connects sound with somehow emotion and personal experience. So when you hear like Beach Boys song, somehow you just come up with this very rich collection of this stupid moments of your teenage life and that kind of thing.
Oh my gosh. I was going to say, like, when I listen to certain songs, those songs remind me of my 20s or like teenage years.
It is bound to that context. So it's an important part of your life, actually.
I think so. It enriches your life in many ways. Do you often listen to music too, Professor?
A lot of rock music.
Ooh, rock music. And I actually want to share this with our crunchers, but you are part of a band yourself.
Yeah, I have a band called Mango Slush.
Really? Mango Slush. Why was it named that?
We drank mango slushy makgeolli at that time when we coined the term. So
Really?
it doesn't have any meaning.
Okay, but it does bring back memories of that moment.
I clearly remember that we were kind of spending a lot of time coming up with the band name, cool name like a hippocampus, something like that. But it ended up with some drink we had at that time.
Okay, Mango Slush.
Yeah.
I like that. And what instrument do you play?
I play guitar and I sing.
Ooh, wow.
And I arrange all the stage things like amps and all that.
Wow.
So I'm
a
like
lot of respect for
butler
that.
instead of
Butler, okay, of the band.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's what band leader do.
Wow. A lot of respect for you. I mean, like all this research, all the things that you're doing as a professor, and a band playing the electric
from time to time, not often.
All right. I guess in the end, like you mentioned earlier, the moments we actually experience through our own bodies, as well as the senses, whether it be hearing, smelling, whatnot, are what become our real memories. Something AI can never experience for us.
Yeah, they're going toward that direction now. They call it physical AI. They try to make that component.
Oh, please.
But I think technically it's going to be difficult with the current technology.
Exactly. It's hard to connect that experience.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep that human for now. Please. Yeah. All right. Well, while we listen to this next song, Crunchers, we're going to take a music break. Why not, all of you, think back to one recent moment that felt especially vivid through your own body and the senses. I will do the same as well. well. And please do enjoy this song. While you do that, it is 바람 어디에서 부는지, wind, where does it come from by Lucid Fall. We'll continue our conversation after the song. Stay tuned.
바람 어디에서 부는지 넌 문을 아무리 닫아보아도 흐려진 눈앞이 시리도록 날리는 기억들 어느샌가 아물어버린 고백에 덧난 그 겨울의 추억 힘겹게 사랑한 기억 이제는 뒤돌아갔으니 바람은 또 어디에서 불어오는지 내 맘에 덧댄 바람에 참 닫아보아도 흐려진 두 눈이 모질게 시리도록 떠나가지 않는 그대 혼자라는 게 때론 지울 수 없는 낙인처럼 살아가는 게 나를 죄인으로 만드네 혼자라는 게 때론 지울 수 없는 낙인 같아 살아가는 게 나를 죄인으로 만드네 바람은 또 어디에서 불어오는지 내 맘에 덧댄 바람에 참 닫아보아도 흐려진 두 눈이 모질게 시리도록 떠나가지 않는 그대 혼자라는 게 때론 지울 수 없는 낙인처럼 살아가는 게 나를 죄인으로 만드네 혼자라는 게 때론 지울 수 없는 낙인 같아 살아가는 게 나를 죄인으로 만드네
We're back. The song that you listened to earlier was titled 바람 어디에서 부는지, wind, where does it come from by Lucid Fall. And we have news for K-culture fans around the world. Talk Korea 2026, the global content contest is now open. Share your My First K-culture moment through video, photo book, drawing and illustration, or even writing. With a total prize of $26,400, the best entry across all 4 categories will receive the Minister of Culture, Sports and Tourism Award. Join Talk Korea 2026 right now. And now we'll continue our discussion with Professor Inah from SNU's Department of Brain and Cognitive Sciences on how to build and protect a brain that stays distinct from AI. And talk 2 is actually going to be about senses and art, create our own unique contest. Now, Professor, context. While listening to the song, I was thinking about this. So why does our brain, seem to react so much strongly to sensory cues like smell or sound than things like words or numbers?
I mean, that's the kind of stimulus our brains naturally process. Our brains evolved to understand the world through our senses long before humans invented written language. So smell, sound, touch, vision, and bodily sensation give us direct information about our environment that doesn't need any interpretation. And sensory information can become closely connected with emotional and memory systems. It just has a direct access. So, for example, smell is a particularly striking example. Sometimes a familiar smell can bring back a memory almost instantly. You smell something, and suddenly you're back in your grandmother's house, or in a place you visited, 20 years ago. That's called the Proust effect sometimes, because in that novel it starts with that, And that's a good reminder that memory is deeply connected to sensory experience.
Okay. Yeah, because, it just comes naturally, like you said, senses.
Yeah.
And our ancestors, these senses were really important to, I guess, for survival too.
Yeah.
Which is why it's
Basically,
extra
our
strong.
brain is not very good at thinking or processing information with language. That's a very unnatural way of doing it.
Okay.
So we have to use it for AI, but it's not that natural way. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. The senses are more natural. Well, then the emotions we feel from music, and art are different for everyone.
Yeah.
How they,
Yeah.
take it, right?
Yeah.
So how does the brain develop our own unique tastes, preferences, all this individually?
It is supposed to work that way. I think personal taste, that's the personal taste, is a beautiful example of how experience shapes the brain. Two people can hear exactly the same song and feel completely different things. Why? Because the song enters two brains with completely different histories. And each person has different memories, associations, emotions, and cultural experiences and relationships and so on. So over many years, these experiences shape what we like and dislike. That's context. So your personal taste is not created at one particular spot in the brain. It emerges from the interaction between your biology and your unique history of experiences. So that is why taste becomes so personal, and that taste or context basically colors the song, and it that's just personal thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Listening to your explanation, it makes me wonder if two people have similar tastes and preferences. Could that mean that they share similar experiences and history to some extent?
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when
Okay.
you let people listen to a certain song, let's say 5 out of 20 people suddenly they just cry. Then I think that song hits something in their context, similarly. So they share the same history, probably.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
something new I learned. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? These days, whether it's music or video, AI algorithms, they instantly recommend you,
Right, right.
All these things that perfectly match your taste, which surprises me as well. But it's convenient, of course. But is it really okay to consume only what AI recommends? What do you think?
Probably not. This is something I think we should be careful about with AI. Recommendation algorithms are very good at predicting what we are likely to enjoy based on what we enjoyed before, right? It's a database driven. So that's convenient, but there is a possible downside And if I'm constantly showing things similar to what I already like, I may have fewer opportunities to encounter something unexpected or something new, right? And unexpected experiences are important in the brain because they can expand our preferences and sometimes change the way we think. So I would occasionally step outside the recommendations
Yeah.
and listen to music. For example, you normally wouldn't listen and read something outside your usual interests and go somewhere you didn't usually go, except for dangerous places.
Yeah.
Because serendipity is also an important form of learning. And then AI, depending too much on AI, actually blocks that opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you mentioned serendipity, and I did mention this in my opening today as well. Like something that you come across or stumble upon
Yeah.
by chance is
Yeah.
sometimes better, or it
Yeah.
lasts longer
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So, and art is a good way actually to stumble on something that you never expect. Yeah. So
I
that's a
see.
good form of learning.
Okay, all right. So simply, I guess, instead of simply relying on AI recommendations, you just go find it yourself. Or, explore new places, except places that are dangerous or illegal.
That makes you think that what I really desire or what I really like, it just makes you look inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, more broadly, though, how can we then avoid simply swallowing the answers AI gives us and instead turn that information into something that's truly our knowledge and our own thoughts?
I think you can just adopt a simple rule when you use AI. Don't stop at the first answer
Okay.
AI give you. After AI gives you something, you should always ask yourself, can I explain this in my own words? How does this connect with something I already know? Or do I agree with it? Or can I think of example from my own experience? You can even close the AI window and try to reconstruct the idea yourself. If you cannot do it, you actually didn't understand what it said. So the moment you start reorganizing information rather than simply receiving it, your brain becomes actively involved.
Okay.
So that's how information begins to become your knowledge. So just get into the habit of doing that.
Okay. Yeah. Don't think that just because you looked at it and you read it, it's already yours.
Yeah.
If you're unable to retrieve it and explain it in your own words, that's not yours.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, have you ever seen music or artwork created by AI?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
I have. I kind of used that Suno, the music generating AI. It's pretty good. It's
Yeah.
a very polished music out of my bed, theme. So it's quite amazing these days. Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
very impressive.
Yeah.
Even the artwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the pictures,
Pictures,
Yeah.
whatnot. Well, yeah, these days you can simply tell AI, draw me a picture and throw a theme or a bit of description or make me a song, and it can produce something in just a few seconds.
Yeah.
Right? So some people may wonder if AI can do it better than me anyway, why should I bother making something on my own, But is the process of creating something with our own hands actually important for the brain than producing a perfect result?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
Art is not, to produce something, right? Because the value of creating something is not limited to the final product, especially in art or in daily task. Imagine drawing a picture yourself. When you draw a picture, you have to observe something carefully because you have to draw it and make decisions how to move and notice mistakes as you move and revise a plan because you have to recover this mess up and sometimes become frustrated and try again. All of these processes engage the brain.
Yes.
This is how art is supposed to work actually. So even if AI can produce a more polished image in 5 seconds, the experience is completely different. So when I make something by myself, the process itself, the whole process changes my brain. Actually, it structurally changed my brain. So it stayed that way. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be grandiose artwork. It's just simple writing, drawing, playing music, or cooking even. Almost any creative activity, the final product. That final product may belong to the world, but what you keep in your brain is that process.
Right.
So,
Yeah, and the process is different for everyone.
yeah, it is supposed to be different for
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah, it's never the same. And
Yeah.
that process is what makes it all fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And gives you individuality.
Yeah.
And self, very different self from others, and identity.
Yeah.
So
It's expressing yourself,
yeah,
basically.
that's the process of discovering who you are. Actually.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the process matters when it comes to creative activities.
Oh.
Well, before we continue the talk, let's take another music break and listen to a song. It's by a group actually our professor might not like. No Brain. He
It's
likes
my
Brain.
favorite band, actually.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But it is actually his favorite band. Let's take a listen to 그것이 젊음. That's Youth. Enjoy and stay tuned.
산다는 게 뭔지 고민만이 가득 찬 그대 좌절은 변기에 버려 텅텅 빈 지갑에 절망감은 두둑한 그대 나도 그 마음 알아 하지만 너의 가슴은 타오르고 있잖아 때론 부딪혀봐 때론 울어도봐 그것이 젊음 거침없이 제껴봐 때론 부딪혀봐 때론 울어도봐 그것이 젊음 이별의 아픔에 슬픔에 둘러싸인 그대 휴지에 코풀면 나아져 낮은 성적표에 압박을 받고 있는 그대 나도 그땐 그랬어 하지만 너의 가슴은 타오르고 있잖아 때론 부딪혀봐 때론 울어도봐 그것이 젊음 거침없이 제껴봐 때론 부딪혀봐 때론 울어도봐 그것이 젊음 흐린 날이 있다면 맑은 날도 있겠지 때론 부딪혀봐 때론 울어도봐 그것이 젊음 거침없이 제껴봐 때론 부딪혀봐 때론 울어도봐 그것이 젊음 이기에 부딪혀봐 때론 울어도봐 때론 부딪혀봐 때론 울어도봐 부딪혀봐 그것이 젊음 이기에 그것이 젊음 이기에 그것이 젊음 이기에
We're back back after listening to No Brains, 그것이 젊음, That's Youth, which happens to be our guest's favorite band. We're going to continue our conversation with Professor Inah Lee, and talk 3 is going to be about the brain in the age of AI, how we can live with AI while protecting our brain. Well, it feels like our emotions and personal tastes, as we've been talking about, may remain a truly human domain that AI can imitate, I guess, but never fully possess, because it doesn't have a body. If we want to protect the sense that our brain is still in control, then what mindset should we have toward AI?
I think I like to think of AI as a sparring partner for thinking. A good sparring partner in boxing doesn't fight the match for you. It forces you to respond in a certain way, especially your weak point.
Okay.
So rather than asking AI to replace my thinking, I can ask it to challenge my thinking. For example, here's my idea. You have to first give your idea to it, and then what's wrong with it, and then it can, show so many wrong things about it.
Okay.
And give me the strongest argument against my position, or what am I overlooking? Those questions. In that way, AI becomes material for thought rather than a substitute for thought.
Okay.
So the important thing is that I remain as the person asking the question and evaluating the answer and making the final judgment, not the other way around. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so like you said, it shouldn't be replacing our thought,
no.
but it should be just feeding our thoughts so that
Yeah.
it can grow,
Yeah.
in different
Yeah,
ways.
it just gives you. It's in a kitchen. You can think of AI as all these ingredients
Yeah.
and the materials, and you're the chef.
Yeah.
You should cook your
Okay.
own food. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. The control should always be in you or on
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Well, since we're talking about keeping control of our own thinking, then people often say that the way we write prompts, matters when using AI. So how should we write prompts in a clever way so that our brain stays in the driver's seat instead of being passive and simply following whatever AI gives us?
I get this question. I got this question a lot before AI came about writing. How can I, be a good writer? And then I write. I have a hard time in writing. And my answer is, because you're not a good thinker. Writing is a form of just, expressing thinking. And you don't have thinking, you don't have anything, then you have nothing to write.
Wow.
So that's the same thing. So think first and prompt second when you have something.
Okay.
So before asking AI, spend even 1 or 2 minutes deciding what you think. Then tell AI your own position. You have to always have your own position before open conversation. For example, instead of saying, tell me the answer, that's a terrible way of starting conversation. You may say, I think the answer is A for these 3 reasons, and analyze my reasoning and tell me what I'm missing. That's the way you should talk to. That's a very different interaction.
Yeah.
So in the first case, AI starts the thinking process. In the second case, you start it and AI respond to you. So just make it your sparring partner instead of controlling you. So I think that's
Basically.
one of the healthiest ways to use AI. Yeah.
Okay. I like how you compare this to sparring partner. In sports too.
Yeah.
Like if you continue playing with a partner who's good at it, then you improve
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
grow
yeah,
together.
exactly.
That's what you want
Yeah,
from AI,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
All right. Well, adults struggle with this too. We aren't able to easily control
Yeah,
ourselves
yeah.
and think before asking AI. So I imagine parents listening right now, if there are
Yeah,
any
yeah.
right now, I'm sure there are, maybe even more concerned about their children.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're born with AIs basically. They use smartphones ever since they're a child. If we want kids to use AI while still developing that ability to think independently and solve problems for themselves, what kinds of questions or conversations should parents encourage at home?
I think parents don't necessarily need to ban AI. That's a terrible way to do it. I think asking good questions may be more important.
Yeah.
And the parents should encourage the habit of practicing that habit of asking good questions. So before a child asks AI, you can ask child to, just come up with some questions. Like, you can ask child, what do you think?
Yeah.
Before a child starts conversation with AI. And if AI gives an answer, then you have to challenge your child with a question like, do you agree with it? Or why, if you agree with it? And is there anything that might be wrong? You have to really make the child be more skeptical about those things. So I think that's just, it requires more energy, but if you get the child into the habit of doing it after 1 or 2 years of practicing, it's going to just, be a very independent thinker. So,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, in the beginning, that whole energy and effort you put
Yeah.
into trying to ask questions, that's draining. But
Yeah.
if it becomes a habit,
yeah.
then you get used to it and it
Yeah.
just becomes natural,
Yeah, it's
right?
much better to spend 1 or 2 years training that instead of just, let the child interact in a passive way.
Okay.
And then you just micromanage after 10 or 20 years.
I see.
So, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, come to think of it, you're a professor. You teach students
Yeah.
at university,
Yeah.
lectures, these settings. And those students who ask good questions, you can sort of tell how much they have studied, how much knowledge they have. Like, don't you? The quality of knowledge, quality of question also helps to determine like their level of knowledge, right?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
good questioners usually are good thinkers and are the skeptical minds. So they always question even, they question themselves.
Yeah.
So I think that's active thinking instead of when someone says, "Oh, okay,
Okay.
that's a very
Yeah,
passive way of
right.
processing information." So, especially when when kids are in younger ages, they should be trained to be an active thinker and questioner. So
Okay.
in AI era, I think that's becoming increasingly important.
A lot more important.
Yeah.
Yeah, being able to ask
Yeah.
questions. And I want to remind our crunchers too about like a concept that we talked about last week as well, metacognition, thinking about your
Metacognition,
own
yeah.
thinking.
Yeah.
Stopping to think
Yeah.
about why am I thinking this thought right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Question yourself.
You can think of yourself as a, coach of a team. And then you have to always assess whether this is going well or something's wrong. If there's something wrong, what do I have to do differently, strategically? That's what brain does.
Yeah.
So I think that, if you train a child, for example, for doing that, I think he or she could be a very independent mind.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
A great tip for all the parents out
Yeah,
there.
instead of parents doing it for them. So,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, helping them to become independent thinkers. All right. Well, many people talk to AI about personal problems these days as well, right? As if they're personal counselors and even seek emotional comfort.
yeah.
How do you view this kind of interaction?
I can understand why people do it these days. AI is always available. It doesn't become impatient. And people may feel less embarrassed
Yeah.
talking about personal concerns with an AI. And sometimes simply putting your feelings into words can be helpful. So, but I think we need to distinguish between supporting reflection and replacing human relationships. Human relationships involve things AI cannot fully reproduce, such as shared personal history when two people interact, and physical presence, and your, voice tone, your kind of, nuanced facial expression, and those
Yes.
things, mutual social responsibility, and genuine consequences and significance, between two people. So AI may sometimes help us organize our thoughts, but I'll be cautious if it begins to replace real relationships, particularly for children and adolescents. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something we should be concerned about.
Yeah, that's very dangerous, actually.
Okay, all right. Then what boundaries should we keep for healthy brain development as well as social skills?
For developing brains, a real interaction with physical world, with real people is extremely important. Children learn social skills by dealing with real people who sometimes disagree
Yeah.
and misunderstand them, become upset, forgive them, and respond unpredictably. That can be difficult compared to AI, but that's exactly how social learning happens.
Right.
And AI system can be designed to be endlessly patient and accommodating. Real people are not. So if a child increasingly prefers AI interaction because human relationships are more difficult, I think that is something parents should pay attention to. AI should support human relationships, not become a replacement for it. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. That's a big difference. Support, not
Yeah.
replace.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, not a brain that merely survives, I guess, the age of AI, but a brain that can still remain me in the age of AI is what we want. And thanks to our insights, Professor, your insights, this has been such a wonderful time and conversation. Really a meaningful opportunity for us to really think more deeply about how to remain the owner of both our brain and our lives too. So you've shared so many valuable insights with us, and I enjoyed the conversation
you.
so
Yeah.
much with you. I wish we had more time with you.
Too.
It was only past 2 weeks, but it seems like it was like a whole semester of
Sure,
lecture
yeah.
with you. How was your time with us?
I really enjoy these conversations.
Yeah.
When people talk about AI, we naturally focus on how quickly the technology is improving,
Yeah.
that side of AI. But as a neuroscientist, I think there's another question that deserves just as much attention, and that is, what happened to us while the technology is improving? And the human brain was built to learn through experience, and like through movement, memory, emotion, curiosity, and relationships with other people. So I don't think the goal is simply to build a brain that can survive the AI era. Sometimes some, lectures or books focus on how quickly you should,
Adapt and
adopt
stuff.
or learn AI skills. But the goal is to use AI while continuing to build a brain that remains genuinely your own. And thank you very much for having me. I really enjoyed it.
No, thank you
Yeah,
so much
yeah.
for sparing your busy schedule for
Sure.
us and sharing all this beautiful knowledge and
Sure.
insight with us.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll have to let you go, sadly. We will sign off, though, with our last song. Here is 몇 번의 여름 After a Few Summers by Toil and Gist. Shall we say goodbye
Sure.
together? All right. Keep crunching.
Crunching.
이대로 영원하자고 철없지만 진심이던 말이 이제 이루어진 거야. 웃었지 아무 걱정도 없이 당장 내년 놓을지가 제일 중요했지 너랑 같이 예고도 없이 다투고 또 풀고 반복했어 하루 종일 너만 기다렸어 다 기억해 어떻게 있겠어 너랑 처음인 게 많아 놓지 못했지만 시간이 갈수록 헷갈렸어 때가 아닌 것처럼 좋았었던 음악 여전히 했을 때까지 가사를 쓰고 있었나 그중 대부분은 네 얘기인데 알렸나 몰라도 듣기를 바랬으니까 어디선가 부질없더라 사랑 비슷한 것들은 내일이 되면 사라질 영이 비슷했거든 생각해보면 참 이상했어 우리 너도 나를 못 잊었을까 밤새 사랑